So I cut my board and I cut the tip of my finger off. Only about a 1/4 inch. Watch, be careful. Welcome back to the community, everybody, and thank you all for being part of it. Today we're doing something different. This is just an extra video this week. That's all it is. And then, of course, back to the DIY stuff for our Beetles. However, a few people had asked if I could do a short video, which I'll keep it about 10 minutes long, 12 minutes long, wood pallet walls. You could do it in your house, your garage, but there's things you need to know, too, to be safe. But it's free. You can get pallets all over the place, and they're easy to find. Out the back of stores, always ask for permission first. I got a pile of wood, as you can see right here, that I got to finish up using. Here's one of my kitchen walls I did for my wife. All right, these boards I did take a little more time with and sanded and did everything, but it's still a burning technique. So that's why it looks a lot nicer. There's no gaps. But then again, it's in my house. And I thought it come out pretty nice, to be honest with you. You do have to slice the boards off. So you have to take a Sawzall and slice through the nails, pull the boards off, and de-nail them. There are places on the marketplace, as you can see, that does sell the boards for $1 a pop if you want to spend a little extra and save yourself the trouble of taking them apart yourself. I like the free part. I like doing it myself, taking them apart. It costs me nothing, for except a few Sawzall blades. No big deal. So let's go over it, how to be safe doing it, because you got to do a burning technique too. Let's get on it. Now, as you can see, I got a lot done already. Some of it was done last summer, and then I just got busy, but I got to finish up that way. But I wrapped it all the way around. I think it looks nice. There's a lot of uneven boards. Let me see if I can find some more where they're uneven, and that's fine. I got to continue on up there, and then I'm going to do the ceiling. See the slats? This is a rustic look. Now, the one in my kitchen, of course, I sanded and uniformed them nicer. But it's a rustic look for a garage or an office or your game room. But I got to finish this wall. So let's start playing around with it. Now, here's some tools you'll need. Not necessarily need, but you should. A circular saw. They're cheap. You can probably pick one up at Harbor Freight cheap if you don't have one. Or you can use a hand saw to cut the boards if you need to. I have a nail gun that actually my son loaned me. You don't have to use a nail gun. You can grab little wee screws and use a screw gun and put them up that way. Because when I ran out of nails, I did use a screw gun until I ordered more nails or went to Home Depot. You can get them either way. But these are the tools you should have. You don't have to, but it makes life simple. Now, as you can see, this is all rough cut. None of them are the same size. So when I put one in here, I may have to cut it to the thickness of this because it may be as wide as that. I don't know if it makes sense, but it should. So there's all different types of sizes that you have to cut and fabricate to fit in there. It's not hard. You're only dealing with wood. It isn't like metal and welding or anything crazy. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set the camera off to the side, and I'm just going to let it run for a few minutes, and I'll talk in between while I'm doing it, and I'll time lapse it so you don't get bored, okay? Now remember, like I said, I'm not looking for neatness. This is a rustic look, so it's going to be a little shabby looking, like an old barn. So what I'm going to do first, and I'm not even using a roller, I'm just marking where our cut is, okay? And then I'm going to mark here. I know to end there. Okay, and I'm going to bring this line across. Now you should be wearing safety glasses, ear protection, but I'm not. Now, there is a better way of cutting this, but I just do stuff the quick and easy way. This should be put on a workbench or something and clamped down, so be careful. So I cut my board and I cut the tip of my finger off. Only about a 1/4 inch. Watch, be careful, take safety. Okay, so like I said, this is a rustic look because these boards are all different and I'm not worried about there being gaps. That doesn't bother me. This is a rustic look. So now I'm going to show you how I get it to look like this without sanding and staining. All right, what I'm doing next is you see these at Walmart, these propane tanks and a tip. And yeah, when I say free, I do mean all the wood is free. Can't beat that. I do a burning technique. Now you can sand and stain the wood if you want to, but I find this much easier. Now here is a caution for you. A lot of these pallets are made up of some type of chemical treated crap. Wear a respirator. I'm not wearing one due to filming purposes. Wear a respirator when you're doing this. And don't go trying to burn these while they're on the wall. Don't be silly, okay? Burn them, let them cool down, and hang them. So let me show you what I mean. You can see how it starts to show up on the grain. Remember, wear a mask. And you never burn anything like this when it's hanging on the wall, but I don't think you're that stupid, so. It gives it a nice look. I mean, you can sand and stain if you want, but this is about a rustic look. It's not about perfection. And I didn't speed this part up so you could see the deal with it. See how that comes out? And one of these propane tanks, they actually go pretty far, in all honesty. And you can do what you want, as dark as you want. Pretty cool, huh? All right, so this board cooled off. You don't want to put it on the wall hot. And like I said, this is meant for, I gotta hit it with the nail gun. This is meant for a rustic look. Nothing is going to match. I know when you've seen my kitchen wall, that was uniformed boards that I had cut and sanded and made perfect, and I burned them and put them up. But for a garage or even a cabin or a game room, you want one wall done in your game room, this looks good. The biggest expense with anything is the wood. It's not the nails, it's not the screws, it's the wood. I like free stuff, and free pallets work out good. Let's pop this up. There we go. All right, let's go on to the next one. I'm going to speed a lot of this stuff up, but I'll talk along the way here and there. Now remember, you're going to have to do a lot of cutting because none of them are the same size. This one's going to make it right flush. Oh, it's still bleeding. This one's going to make it flush with here because I'm probably going to put a piece of trim here later, not right away. So this is perfect length, but we got to slice a little bit off of here, so I'll mark that. And the nice thing here, it's all rough cut. I'm not measuring. I'm just marking and cutting. Okay, give me 1 second. I'll cut this. Okay. Now, if you feel the need, you know, if this is in your game room and it's not in your garage or something like this is a rustic garage look, you can go ahead and measure and cut where there are literally no seams and it's nice and flush. But that's not my goal. And the goal was to show you how to do it almost free, you know, with the wood. So let me burn this real quick. I'll be right back. I just like this better than sanding and staining. I think it's a lot quicker. They actually do these to floors in houses. I don't know how, because, you know, you can burn something down real fast doing that. But the kitchen, when I did that, of course, I absolutely did cut and measure and made everything really precise. But in the garage, to me, it's like a cabin look. It's real rustic, so I don't care. Let's flip this around. And make sure, like I said, there's a lot of chemical in these boards. Make sure to wear a respirator while you're doing this. I'm just running my yap, so I can't wear a respirator while I'm trying to show this stuff. Got a nice knot there. I can see moisture coming out of it. Sometimes they're hard to get to burn. Okay. I'm getting this and this done, and then I can just work my way up. Alrighty. Not too bad. There we go. Now make sure if this isn't a garage, you know, or an unfinished room, you could see I have wiring. I'm going to manipulate one in here, but don't nail or screw in the wiring, but I guess you know that. Up here, I should have actually drilled a hole and brought these wires down through, but I'm going to manipulate a board over them. As long as you don't puncture the wire, you're okay, or smash it. But this isn't about wiring. I had put this sub panel in myself, so I kind of know where everything is at. So now I'm just going to start speeding the film up and time-lapsing and put some music in it. I'll be here. Sit tight. All right, so you can see, like I said, not to be repetitive, you have gaps, you have seams. I'm not going to continue the video and have you watch me do board, cut, burn. If you noticed, I was having trouble with the propane tank. It wasn't the tip of the tank. It kept blowing out real quick. Not sure why. I'll switch to a different tank. You can get them cheap at Walmart. I think 2 for $10. Probably one tank would do almost a whole wall. So be careful when you're working with stuff like that. I'm not responsible for your mistakes. But anyhow, if you've seen the kitchen, I know that wall I cut and measured and made it perfect. It did come out nice. But in the garage, I want that rustic barn look. Everything is uneven. That's the way it's supposed to look. So that was your extra Tuesday video. Somebody had said they wanted to see, you know, how that was done. So I kept it short and sweet, you know, even got to cut the tip of my finger off, but I didn't want to show that on film and freak anybody out. It happens. Told you be careful with circular saw. Okay, as you can see back here, once you get some signs up and that, it does look really nice. When you're going to get pallets, do not take them from a store. You go in and ask, can I have some pallets? A lot of times they'll tell you no, they need them. And then some places overwhelm you and say, take all of them. So you can get all the wood you want for free if you do it the right way. All right. I hope everybody had a great day, and I'll be back on Friday with a video. I'll see you soon.